Now we are able to expand brackets, we need to be able to do the opposite, which is to put brackets back in. We call this factorising. So for this example, the expression was 5e plus 15. My first step is to look for the highest common factor for both parts of the expression. So what is the highest common factor of 5e and 15? This means what can I divide them both by, the highest possible. It's quite easy to see that I can divide both of these by 5. So because 5 is what I'm dividing by, that goes outside of my bracket. I can then put my brackets in. I then need to go back to the 5e. So what do I need to times 5 by to make 5e? And the answer would be e. Think back to when we were expanding brackets. That would be our first smile, wouldn't it? 5 times e would give me the 5e. Then my next step is to look at the 15. What do I times 5 by to get 15? What is 15 divided by 5? And of course the answer would be 3. For this example, we can see our expression is 6a plus 18. So again, I'm looking for the highest common factor of 6a and 18. What can I divide 6a by and 18? Well, there's a couple of different numbers. I can divide them both by 2. I can divide them both by 3. I could divide them both by 6. And remember, it's the highest common factor that I'm looking for. So, because I'm going to divide them both by 6, the 6 goes outside of the bracket. Fill in my brackets. What do I times 6 by to get 6a? And what do I times 6 by to get 18? So 18 divided by 6, which would give me my 3. You can see for this example, where my expression was 16k take away 16, I'm doing exactly the same. The only difference is I've got a minus, a subtract, a negative instead of a positive. But I'm doing the same method. So I'm looking for the highest common factor of 16 and 6, or minus 6. What can I divide 16 by and 6 by? And the answer is 2. The highest common factor of 16 and minus 6 is 2. So this goes outside of the bracket. What do I times 2 by to get 16k? Well, let's ignore the k for a minute. What do I times 2 by to get 16? What is 16 divided by 2? 8. And then I can put my k back on. Again, think back to when we did our expanding brackets. This would be our first smile. And 2 times 8k would give me 16k. If you're ever not sure, think back to those expanding brackets. Now, what do I times 2 by to get minus 6? And this is where we've got to remember those negative rules. 2 times 3 would give me a positive 6. But because I needed the answer to be a negative, one of the answers, one of the numbers involved has to be a minus. We know it's not the 2 because that would upset the 8k. So it must be minus 3. And think about that as a second smile. 2 times minus 3 would give me the minus 6. This little diagram is quite nice just for showing the relationship between expanding and factorising. So we can see when we expand, we get rid of the brackets, and that's where we can use our 2 smiles. And then to factorise, we put the brackets back in. So that's when we've got to find the highest common factor. Have a go at these questions in your book. Pause the video so it'll give you a chance to complete them, and then play it again to get the answers and mark your work. Here are the answers. How did you get on? Take your marked work to your teacher to get some feedback and next steps.